Hello everybody, welcome back to Carl Fix, and I wanted to do a week one update video on my solar install. If you watched the last video, I've officially now had solar for a full week from last Monday to this Monday, and I'm going to get straight into it and get some statistics up on the screen. So here's my Octopus account, and there is the week prior to getting solar installed. As you can see, we spent £30 on electric in a week and used 128 kilowatts in that week. So I don't know what other people's averages are around electricity spending, but we have a pretty high expenditure at our house in electricity, as you can see. So £30 5p for the week, 128 kilowatts. So if I kill them and get the ones up for the week we've just had, bearing in mind this is the first week we've had, so Monday was probably a couple of hours by the time it was actually set up. And like I say, living in the UK, the last week it's been rainy, dull. Sunday was a washout, chucking it down, not a beam of sunlight in the entire country, or at least where I am. So this is the statistics for week one, and obviously bearing in mind Monday and Tuesday of this week. Monday we didn't have any battery charge because it was the first day it was installed, and really Tuesday we had to recharge the battery and get used to obviously using the system as well. So you can see we used 77 kilowatts and we've used £14.67. So it's basically just under 50% less electric over this week. Bearing in mind that it's not been a great week either. It's a very nice day today, and I suspect we'll have barely used anything today, which is now Tuesday, so it'll go into me next week's. But as you can see here, we're using a very, very small amount of electric. Sunday, as I say, it was a complete and utter washout, and everyone decided to go in the shower at the wrong time of the day. Between 4 and 7, my kids and my missus went in the shower. I mean, it doesn't affect the amount used, but obviously the cost on Agile was more expensive. So as you can see here, basically what has happened is from these here, unfortunately I've got took screenshots of my app because it's not working properly on desktop, so I had to take them on my phone. But here, all these are £3, £4, £5 days on the previous week, and then the solar week is, I think this is like £3, this is like £2, and then down here is like less than £1. That Wednesday was a sunny day and it's like 50p. So as you can see, moving into the summer, and if we can carry on getting days like we've had today that are just bright sunshine every single day, we should hopefully be using very little to no electricity at all the whole summer. I will just get my inverter screen up to show you a couple of things too. Just bear with me 1 second while I get that on the screen while I'm doing this all live. Window capture, here we go. So yeah, here's my inverter screen as of this very second. So you can see the total production there, 92 kilowatt hours, and then we've sent 11, nearly 12 kilowatt hours back to the grid. That will be at 15 pence per kilowatt. So 12 times 15 is what, I don't know, £1.60, something like that. So we'd get a £1.60 credit also back into our electricity meter. And here you can see a graph where the red is the power consumption we're using in the house at that time of the day. So as you can see, this is this morning. Being a Tuesday, someone has used 3.84 kilowatts this morning, probably making a coffee or whatnot on the kettle. And obviously we're only generating at that time 0.2 of a kilowatt, being that it's what, don't know what time that is, but yeah, 7:10 in the morning. Obviously, you can see the blue line is the power we're generating. So obviously here in this midday, generating a huge amount more power than we were using. And then here is where we were cooking tea again around 6 o'clock. So what you have to also bear in mind, like I say, is between 4 and 6, electricity prices, if you are an Octopus Agile, are much more expensive, around 30p per kilowatt usually. So you want to try and avoid using power at that time. So if we click a couple more buttons, you can see what we're doing with the grid. So you can see here, this is where we were sending back to the grid, like I was saying, exporting the minus 0.6 kilowatts, 2.6 kilowatts. And then you can see the battery power. It's a little bit hard to read this because it's orange and red, but you can see that the battery there is doing 2.6 kilowatts of the 3.6 consumption, and we were producing 1.2 at that time, so we was only actually getting 0.17 kilowatts from the grid, even through the peak time. So yeah, as you can see, that is currently what is going on. Obviously, this is when we use most of our power when we're cooking tea, and probably what time are we on now? Nearly 7 o'clock. People probably start going in the shower and whatever once the electricity prices start to reduce, because our shower's 10.5 kilowatts, so we have to draw from the grid either way, because even if we were getting full 3.5 kilowatts from the production and 3.5 kilowatts from the battery, you would still need to get 2 or 3 kilowatts from the grid to top up the 10.5 kilowatt hour shower, if you catch my drift on that one. But currently, obviously, being that it's nearly 7 o'clock at night now, we're getting 258 in. And obviously here you can see we're using 554 watts from the battery, which is 78% charged. We sent it a little bit back to the grid actually, and we're using 800 watts as a household. So obviously this 78% battery, as you stop producing, you'll run your house on the battery until this runs out. Obviously, depending on if somebody goes in the shower in the next half an hour or so, this probably, our battery, with people going in a 10 kilowatt shower and us cooking tea over that time, will probably run out. It doesn't last all night. And at the moment, I'm not force charging it overnight when the electricity is 13-14%. I'm just letting the sun do it in the day. As you can see from up here, the battery was charging in this time frame here. Once the battery is fully charged, it goes to sending it back to the grid. So this is where you charge your battery. Then this is where you get paid by the grid for sending your energy back to the grid. Like I say, not into force charging yet. That's probably something I will do in the winter when the sun won't charge the battery. I know there's an argument for doing it anyway and exporting, because theoretically overnight I could charge the battery for, I don't know, 9, 10, maybe 11, 12p, and then you could just not charge it here and then export all of this, how many kilowatts this is in total, back to the grid for more money back to the grid. So I'd get 15p per kilowatt back for all of this, and I've only spent, I don't know, 10 to 14p overnight, or whatever your tariff is, charging the battery. So that's something to bear in mind. And then this is the overall chart for the week. So you can see there, that was the first day. Consumption was 17, we created 8. And then as you can see, the next day was fairly even. The Wednesday consumption was 20. We only produced 9. So it gives you just a rough idea of how things were going. I mean, what day are we on today? 30th? Yeah, so obviously produced way more than we've used today. Here's pretty even. Sunday, again, you can see we used a lot. So yeah, that's really all I want to say at the moment. At the minute, in a fairly dull spring week, for our first week, we've saved 50% in the energy bill that we would normally do for the week. And obviously going into the warmer, sunnier times, that's only going to get better. I want to keep this video at 10 minutes just to give you an update. So that's that. Like, favorite, subscribe. Tell me if you like the update videos. Tell me if you want to see anything different in it. Or if you want to know about anything else. If you want to know any technical stuff or what's going on or more about this app or what you're looking at up here, just let me know and I'll see if I can make a video about it at some point. So see you on the next one. Like, fave and sub, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.